want to do?
Let's go ahead and get right into it, man.
Okay.
How do you want to start this? You want to say hello, welcome to the Ybormuda podcast?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Especially our first episode ever. Super excited about this. So, let's see here. All right. Let's do this.
If you want to get right into it, first of all, thank you guys all for tuning into this wonderful idea that we've had. This is my partner, Taylor Durden. I'm Max Herman. Some of you may know both of us around Ybor City. Both different personalities, but both have made our own kind of reputation in Ybor City. And honestly, we started this idea because we both love this town so much. And we love the weird side of it. We know that there's podcasts out there that talk about how great Ybor is and the history and the amazing stuff. And we're going to get on some of that stuff too. But at the same time, this is all about kind of the underbelly of Ybor.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've been here, I'm born and raised in Tampa, and I've been in Ybor for 13 years now as a resident. I've been coming here since like 95 or so, just being a hood rat. And this city has given so much to me, and I wanted to give something back, and this has been like a brainchild of mine for about a year now. I wanted to do, what was really cool is, you know, in my head, I wanted this like casual fit, interview everybody I could think of, you know, and I reached out to you to be my first guest.
Yeah.
And you were straight up like, no, I don't want to be a guest. I want to be your co-host.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and I thought, man, that's great, because with your knowledge of the history of this town and what bit that I know about, you know, all the goings on, socially, historical, everything, I thought this would be such a cool fit, such a fun show to do. So many people are waiting for this. They're stoked. This town needs something like this, I think. It's a big hole that's, you know, needs to be filled.
Right, and hole needs to be filled is a good way to put that, because honestly, Ybor City itself, you know, we've seen a lot of changes come in the past couple of years, and Ybor is almost going through kind of a gentrification, which has its good and its bad, but the idea is it'll never lose its grit, its punk, if you will, because no matter how many nice places come this way, and we're excited to see where Ybor is going, but at the same time, Ybor City has had many lives, many ups and downs from the creation of this town all the way through to what we have today. And both of us have had many years here where we've seen kind of Ybor in our own light. Like you said, you've been here since the early 90s, mid 90s. I started doing tours in 2014-ish, 2013, and I've been in Ybor City my entire life. To do a little backstory of myself, I was born at St. Joe's Hospital, came home to Ybor City, lived in the town and country area for quite a bit, and then when I turned 18 and I wanted to move back to this place, I knew it because this was the only place I knew that was calling my name. And of course, when you're a kid coming to Ybor City, you know about the fun side of it, but I always was fascinated with the weird side of it.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I mean, we're going to talk about questions that we have for each other. We're going to have amazing guests that are going to come this way. In fact, some of the people that are lined up, we might have already outkicked our coverage a little bit, because we have some people that are so excited about this podcast and the personalities that we're bringing to this. It's going to be something to tune into for sure.
Yeah, and you know, and my goal is to have, you know, I want to have regularity and releasing episodes. I want to have consistency. So we're going to release this, you know, intro, just kind of give you an idea, you know, what we want to do, what we want to talk about. And this is going to come out pretty quick. But then we're going to have a little bit of a lull, because I want to amass a small stock of episodes. So that way I don't have to stress about trying to figure out how to edit all this stuff. And I want to be able to give everyone, if those that actually enjoy it, give them, you know, a constant, you know, consistent stream weekly, hopefully.
Well, I got a feeling that once we get this ball rolling, people are going to be like, I need more.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to condense some of these episodes into two-parters.
Yeah, for sure.
Because not only the guests that we're going to have, but the stories that we have. I mean, Ybor's historic stories. Like I do a ghost tour of Ybor City, as many of you probably know, and every story I tell you has at least 3 sources behind it to make sure that it's legit. One of the sources might be the bartender at Rez, but still, like I still have, I want to make sure, because Ybor City has had so many crazy stories come this way that sometimes you hear me go, that can't be true, until you find out it really is.
Yeah, and not only, I mean, I have so many crazy stories of just the last 15 years.
Oh well,
this is 100 years of thousands of people. Imagine the stories we don't know that happen in this town. It's amazing. I love this town so much.
Yeah, it's a very unique town, and you'll see that as we go along this whole idea. So the idea for the first episode, just to kind of get you guys to know what we're doing here, we're going to be, like I said, not only interviewing some interesting characters that have come and gone through the years of Ybor City, but we're also going to tell you some stories of some characters in the history and the past of this town. We want you guys to understand that, maybe your time in Ybor City was the best time ever. Everybody believes that. But Ybor's had so many different characters come since the origin all the way till right now where we're going today.
I mean, we have since 1885?
1885.
To cover, so we got a little bit of stretch we can cover. It's like when you listen to that 80s station and they only play like 10 songs, man, there are 10 years worth of music.
Right.
Man, we have, since 1885, stories upon stories.
Yes.
There's a lot of history podcasts out there, and a lot of them have like one episode dedicated to a little, like in a nutshell for this town. And I don't think that gives this town enough credit.
Not even close.
I think this town has so much to offer. At one point in time, we had like literally the world's largest mafia, basically, because of its expanse.
Well, this place was lawless by law. It literally was on the books that it was illegal to arrest somebody in Ybor City unless you were the Ybor City Police Department, which was 6 guys.
Yeah,
you know
maybe.
What I mean? They were hanging out in bordellos all night. It was pretty easy to get this thing rolling with a port right there and a railroad connected to it. This was the hottest spot in America for Caribbean rum during Prohibition.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, and all these social clubs, like we're recording right now in the famously haunted historic Cuban club. So
yes, we're luckily to be part of not only like 2 people that know a lot of people in the community, but also we do a lot in this community. I happen to be on the chamber or the board of directors of the Cuban club, so luckily we are here in the historic and notoriously haunted Cuban club that's been visited by the ghost hunters. It's been on TV many times.
For sure.
This place is a place of pilgrimage for ghost hunters, and I could tell you 1,000 stories about ghosts that I've seen, heard, and spoken to in this building. But we're gonna keep it more on like some of the subjects that we gotta, like everybody in Ybor City might be able to cover. In fact, we also are going to welcome many people out there. If you have a crazy story of Ybor City, hold on, let me rephrase that. Have you ever been to Ybor City? You probably had some crazy shit happen here. So if you have anything that we have, Ybormudapodcast.com, send your stories into us.
Yeah, drop a line.
We'll read it on our podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. It's real simple. The website's simple. There's not a whole lot to go through. It's got a little bio for us. And then at the end, just drop a line. I want to hear it. Like, I know... man, so many people that I know out of country, out of state, that have talked about Ybor. I've gone up to New Jersey, go car stuff with friends, and shared cigars with someone.
Right.
And when I mentioned I live in Ybor, they're like mind blown. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
This place is so well known, but not talked about enough.
Right. It is the mecca of cigars.
Oh, 100%.
It was the cigar capital of the world, bigger than Cuba even, where the industry was based. But not only that, I'll go to different cities and I'll go, I'm from Ybor City, and they'll go, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And I'll go,
Ybor?
Yeah. Ybor we get quite often. As soon as you say Ybor, I go, where are you from?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I'll go Google it. They'll look it up and go, oh, so it was kind of a cool little cigar town. No, this town had immigration. It had progressiveness that you would never even heard of.
Yeah.
There were gay clubs in Ybor City in the 40s. I mean, this place was way ahead of its time.
This place was industry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not only that, it was immigration. It was different cultures coming together, and they thought, I know we don't speak the same language, but who gives a shit? We're in America, we're going to make this thing work, and we're all going to make some cash.
Look at our Cuban sandwich.
Exactly.
I don't care what debate you have. It's from Tampa. It was started in Tampa.
Right.
It was something that the cigar workers needed that wouldn't spoil throughout the day.
Exactly.
And it's made of all the elements from all the different nationalities that came here.
Yeah, we got the Cuban bread from the Cubans, the roasted pork from the Spaniards, the Italians of the area who had a big contribution to the town. They was like, we got to put some salami in there.
Yeah, I like mine with salami for sure.
Right. If you're in Miami, you're not going to get the salami. Nothing against those guys down there, but we got the better sandwich.
And the better bread.
And the better bread. People literally drive up here for La Segunda bread.
Yeah.
It's not even a lie. And lastly, of course, there was a big German population here. And when the Germans came here, they found their niche in the artist area, which is going to be a subject we're going to talk about a lot too on this podcast, because we're going to have a lot of people through the years that came here through the artist revolution of the 80s and 90s. We're also going to have some legendary people that have opened up nightclubs in this area here. And what can I say? All these people that came together to make Ybor what it is today. I know a lot of people out there probably think of Ybor City and they have a certain idea of it. But unless you come here week in and week out, you have no idea the uniqueness of this town.
Yeah, you get a single serving of it, and that's it.
Yes, yeah.
You know, but when you live here and you imbibe with everyone and you ingratiate yourself with the whole community, not just one little section of it, man. Oh boy, do you get to see some shit.
Exactly, man. So let's kick it off. Let's talk a little bit about each other. In fact, I kind of wanted us to ask each other questions. If that's cool. Did you write down some questions?
I did.
Okay, how about you ask one, then I'll ask one, then you ask one, then I'll ask one.
Okay.
So do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So one of my questions was, being that you are born and raised here in Ybor City, I'm a South Tampa kid.
Yeah.
And I see how it has changed over the years. When I go visit my old neighborhoods, it's unrecognizable. How are you, as a resident of Ybor, viewing? I wouldn't even call it a gentrification. I call this a renaissance right now. What we're going through. Good way to put it. How are you viewing it as a longtime resident of? We all want to reminisce, and we also want to look forward to the future. How are you feeling like in this moment, the changes that are happening in this town?
There's the good and the bad. Of course, like I said, everybody misses the old Ybor, because when they came here and they met that certain somebody, or they had the best night of their life, that was the best time in Ybor City's history. People will tell you the 40s were the best, or the 20s were the best, or the 80s were the best. But I've seen it come and go. I remember the renaissance, if you will, I like the way you put that, of Centro Ybor.
Yeah.
I remember that. In the early 2000s, when all of a sudden we had this whole big project coming in. It was the Steiner Group, I believe. They bulldozed a bunch of buildings and decided, why don't we turn this into something that will bring people back? They hired security to walk the area. Because I'll be honest with you, when I was a kid, if the streetlights came on, I went home.
Yeah.
I was not supposed to be outside, and if that was the case, I was coming home to a whooping if I was outside at nighttime.
Yeah.
So I didn't see a whole lot of that growing up. But as the turn of the 21st century, I saw Ybor City kind of get to the cleaned up aspect right away. Now today, though, this is moving faster than I ever would have thought. With everything happened with the condos going up, and there's the good and the bad of that. Of course, we miss some of the places that the condos are going into, but I do notice something. I noticed there's a lot less crime. As a kid, I have memories of hearing stories, and even being a kid and being like, hey, so do you want to come visit me? I live in Ybor City. And the parents would be like, we're not going to Ybor City.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a different place completely now. Now people are looking at it as a destination.
Right.
People after the pandemic specifically too, they look at Ybor City as man, if I'm going to move to Florida, which a lot of people are, I'm going to move to a place where I might meet somebody, where I could go see a show, where I could enjoy the nightlife, and I can, work on some of my stuff in some of the silent cafes of the area. Plus, the cigar culture itself. It's never going to die. It's never going to disappear, no matter what people think about Ybor City. The cigar culture is the heart and soul of this place, as well as the other characters that came this way. But there's something to the cigar culture. Now that cigarettes, we all know what they do to people. There's the Zen movement, which nothing against that, but
I can't do it. I can't
either do it. I can't. Nothing against the people. I understand it, but I've tried it a couple times. I'm I can't get into it. But the cigar culture, it means you sit back, you relax, you have a conversation, maybe a brandy or two, maybe a whiskey, just relaxing in an environment of people that are all like-minded. You share political views, you share religious views, understandings of what's around you, or just shoot the shit and laugh a little bit for an hour, and then all of a sudden you're down to the band, and you go, man, that was a fun time I just had here. I'm coming back.
That's the one thing, everything, as I'm getting older, everything just is getting faster and faster.
Right.
Cars, service, everything is instant gratification. It's everything's moving so fast.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's still left over from yesteryear that I enjoy daily, where I know I have 45 minutes.
Right.
It's almost meditation. Where I
silence my phone.
Yep.
That's it, guys. I'm not available for the next 45 minutes. I'm going to watch whatever is on the game. It doesn't even matter what's around
my
me.
wife hates the smell of them, so nobody talks to me. I'm just left alone on my front porch for 45 minutes,
If I need a little bit of a whoosah moment where I'm okay, I'm just going to have a cigar. And, my wife understands completely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my humidor is always full. So.
Right, nice. Yeah. So I know to come over. All right, my question for you. Let's see. What's your earliest memory of Ybor City? Way back in the day where you're man, this was the time I remember my first couple days in Ybor.
I remember, oh gosh, there's so much.
I know it's tough to go all the way back.
Yeah, so I was a teenager. I'd say it was probably about 95-ish. I would have been 16 maybe at the time. And my buddy and I, we had weird schedules. Even though I was in high school, I worked a lot. Right. And we would come out to Ybor on the weekends. And he had the sketchiest Cadillac this huge like Fleetwood Brougham, 2% tinted windows.
Right. But to him, it was the DeVille of the century.
Yeah, 100%. He bought a speaker box that was too big, and we shut the trunk and broke the hinges, so it was ratchet strap shut, that kind of thing. And we would come out to Ybor, and I think the first time that we actually got the courage to get out of the car, park, and walk around, I'll never forget, we're standing next to one of the many benches along 7th Avenue, and there's a guy sitting on the bench, and he's just peeing his pants.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Just completely obliterated.
That's it.
And just taking it all in of all the people, because back then on the weekends, 7th Avenue was closed off from vehicle traffic. All over it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was absolutely packed. Mm-hmm. And this was just on it would have just been a regular weekend. Right. It wasn't like a guavaween or something. We were too chicken shit to go out for that yet, But, just going on the weekend and just being hood rat kids and roaming 7th Avenue. And I'll never forget, I don't know if that was my first memory, but that's one that always stands out the most, is the first time I've ever seen a grown man pee his pants in front of me in public, and like it was nothing happening. Like the guy wasn't even paying attention to what was happening.
Hit his limit.
And I thought, this town is amazing.
Well, how many times have you met somebody in Ybor that's like, I just moved here, and you're like, poor soul.
Yeah.
You are going to be taken by this town, because you can spend 20 minutes with him at the bar and you're like, this guy's going to have to go through a lot of ups and downs in this town.
It's Ybormuda, buddy.
Right, Ybormuda.
It sucks you in, man. Yeah, you can't get out. You get lost. You have no idea what's happening, especially when you're, college kids and you visiting in town and just balls to the wall.
Oh man.
And that's a bad place to be sometimes.
I've had a lot of people that tell me stories like, man, I had a weekend there that I don't remember, and I ended up in jail and this and that. And I'm like, dude, you got to pace yourself. Yeah. Ybor City, I mean, everybody's been to like Bourbon Street or Broadway or things like that, but Ybor seems to have some sort of different kind of magic to it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like I despised Bourbon Street for a long time. I've been there several times, and every time it was just too much.
Yeah.
Social battery would run out almost immediately.
Right.
And it was just too much, and I was like, man, I just can't wait to get back home. Yeah. And this was like my own version. Like I always called the set of the French Quarter is my Latin Quarter.
Right, it's the Latin Quarter.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess just because the vibe here is completely different.
Yeah.
It
is. Well, first of all, it's a different place.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere you go in America, that's what's so great about the country is you can go to all these different places in America and they all have their own spot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, Ybor might be the best kept secret in the South. A lot of people don't even know it exists.
I know. And I've traveled a lot. And everywhere I've traveled, I thought at one point I was going to move out of Tampa. I didn't want to be the dude that never... That peaked in high school, never got out of his hometown. Yeah. And I traveled. I've lived in Texas, and I've gone to Europe. Mm-hmm. I've gone to Chicago, one of my favorite cities of all time. Chicago. California, I've been everywhere. And everywhere has a lot of things that they do very well. Right. But they don't check all the boxes that Tampa does. Yeah. Tampa does all of it.
Yes.
And if it doesn't, right around... And like an hour drive, we'll have it.
Exactly. So, well, I always said Tampa was kind of like, okay, so people come to Florida. They visit Mickey Mouse. They go to maybe even St. Augustine if you're a history guy. Or they go to Miami and they go crazy. Tampa has all that. Yeah. Tampa has the theme parks. Tampa has the beaches. Tampa has great food. Tampa has amazing history. Ybor City is one of only 3 National Historic Landmark Districts in all of Florida. Yeah. Changed the course of history. And we can get into all that if you want to. But let's get back to our questions. Yes, I asked one, you asked one now.
Okay, so... all the places that we have lost in this town, businesses, nightclubs, restaurants, whatever, which one would you bring back right now?
The first one that pops into my head is Fumabella.
Oh, yeah.
Fumabella was my place. Well, first of all, also New World across from it. A lot of you probably remember this. New World Brewery had great food, great concerts. Mm-hmm. I've seen some of the best concerts in comedy shows. Yeah. I opened one time a comedy show at New World. But as everybody was hanging out New World, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to go check the meter real quick, or I'm going to step. I go to Fumabella.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I get a proper drink, and it was all good. It was all cash. It was like...
standing room only.
Right. You went in, you went out. Somebody walked in one time, and I was in there, and they're like, let me get a Red Bull and vodka, and they kicked him the fuck out.
Yeah, man.
That doesn't fly.
Yeah, that bar was... I really miss Fumabella. I mean, hell, the room we're recording in is probably twice the size of what Fumabella is.
Exactly. No, it was the tiniest little thing. It didn't matter.
It was perfect.
They had Pappy Van Winkle for like $10, $12. If you knew the bartender, you could probably go a little. You just throw a little something to him. But like, I mean, Fumabella was the place to be. Now, of course, a lot of people out there are going to remember it. But I'm going to tell you a spot that I do miss that maybe a lot of people didn't visit or didn't catch it while it had its window. Rox Brothers.
Yeah, Rock Brothers were good.
Rock Brothers was
very
cool,
good.
man. I knew the staff.
I wish it had
for a
lasted
while.
longer.
I wish they did too. They had a great selection of whiskeys and bourbons and whatnot. I loved the upstairs concert venue. I saw a lot of concerts up there too. Not to mention, it was one of my best stops on the Ghost Tour. And everybody that worked there, they were cool with me, man. I mean, I'd hang out after hours. We'd play the piano together and stuff. And now, Disco Pony's in there right now, which we just checked out.
Yeah, we just stopped in. That place is really cool.
That place reminds me of like old school Ybor City.
Yeah. It gives me big like Pleasure Dome vibes.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, you would walk in and you're like, oh, I'm in the bar. If you ever been to Pleasure Dome, it was a giant nightclub made of 3 main rooms.
Yeah.
And you'd walk into the main room and there was a bar and whatnot. And if you didn't know to go to the other ones,
you just hang out in the bar.
Yeah, just hung out at the bar. And I kept watching all these people go to the bathroom like, why is everyone going to the bathroom and nobody's coming back out?
They don't come back out.
Yeah, so I had to go check out. And you walk in and it was just mind-blowing, the dance hall with the catwalk. And that's what Disco Pony reminded me of. When you walk into the dance room, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, now we're gonna probably check that place out quite often. Now
for sure. It's a cool spot. It's a cool spot.
But yeah, Fumabella is the legendary spot that I totally miss with all my heart. Now, I actually had that question written down too, but I'm gonna give you a different one.
Well, I will say,
okay,
go
ahead.
Yeah, because I have a list of places I would love to have come back.
Give me 2.
But I would say, to give 2, one business still exists. He just had to move it outside of Ybor.
Okay.
Which was Orpheum.
Orpheum, yeah.
I love Lazy. I love Orpheum. It was fun when it was on 7th, but I miss original Orpheum right next door to Fumabella.
Yes.
The little venue.
Yep.
It was always wild.
Yeah, man.
The bar was cool. I mean, what a neat spot. I saw so many great shows there. I got into so many great fights outside.
Right, yes. We can talk about that too.
And I would say that my main one that I actually miss the most is Laughing Cat. If you
Laughing Cat, oh my God, I miss Laughing Cat.
So Laughing Cat was this amazing restaurant, and when they first opened, it was in a tiny little spot, which is now the tattoo shop.
Right, it was El Canto.
Yeah, El Canto, which it looks like they've expanded into the building next to it, because it's a big shop.
Because I remember Laughing Cat being tiny.
It was tiny. It was about the size of this room.
Right.
And they had this dish that I got every time I went. And they ended up taking off the menu and only putting it on for specials. But I ate there so much that when I would go in, they would make it for me.
Nice.
And it was this gigantic filet that they would open up and stuff it with gorgonzola cheese. And they had like a 5 mushroom marsala. Oh my God, it was amazing. It was so good. And then when they moved across the street to
they were in where Barter House is.
Yes, and right after Laughing Cat was Joffrey's, I think.
Yeah, the coffee place.
But it lost the magic. It wasn't quaint. The food wasn't the same anymore. Right. The staff was different.
It's hard to transition into a bigger venue and make it work.
And I get it, because you're like, oh man, we're doing so well. We're gonna make money hand over fist.
Yeah, but sometimes if something's good, don't fuck with it.
Right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's people waiting outside to get in.
Right. That's kind of an appeal.
Right. Keep it like that. Because now you have too much people. Now there's not a line. You're not attracting a crowd.
Right. Well, not to mention, like, if you have a line out there, put your name on the list. There's 16 other places to go hang out while you wait for your table. You know what I mean? Like,
I say this with all my restaurateur experience. All the restaurants I've opened. Yeah, no, that was...
Have you ever worked in a restaurant?
No, I was a cook when I was 18, and that was the worst job ever.
I worked in a lot of restaurants. Honestly, that's kind of how I cut my teeth for a while in college and stuff like that, you know. But yes, restaurants, you kind of want the line. Mm-hmm. You know, you want people to be like, man, I wish I can get in there, but, you know, we'll wait an hour. We'll go get a drink over here. We'll go hang out here, maybe get a snack over there, and then we'll
get our... That's the beauty of this area.
Exactly.
You know?
That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this. Okay, so let's see. Tell me a moment you had in Ybor City that you're never gonna forget. Like this moment, I don't know, when you met your wife, or like when your first fist fight here, anything at all. Like tell me one moment. I know there's probably a lot coming at you right now.
There's a lot.
Take a breath.
There's a lot. Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned, you know, when I met my wife. Yes, absolutely. It was amazing. It was.
You can say that for the camera.
It was quick and fleeting though. Like she was hanging out with a buddy of mine, and I just showed up.
Yeah.
And we exchanged pleasantries, went on our way, and I asked my buddy later. I was like, "Hey, who was that chick that you were hanging out with?" Yeah. And then, you know, so it wasn't like some magical eyes gloss over moment, but you know, it turned into something amazing. But as far as like something I will never forget, there's a couple. I would say big one, and it's kind of a longer story.
I'm listening.
So not to get political, because it's not meant to be political.
Right.
But So I was bouncing. I used to be a bouncer at the Castle nightclub.
Heard of it, yeah.
Starting, I want to say, because I started going there about 2000, became a real regular like 01.
Yeah.
And then somewhere around 2006, 2007 maybe, one of the door guys, who is also the DJ, had asked me, he's like, hey, do you want to work here? Because like to work at the Castle, somebody has to either quit or die.
Yeah,
like there was at the time, there was like no turnover. It was a legacy crew.
Right.
It was like the same people. And I thought, yeah, absolutely, I would love to work here. So I became a bouncer. I became a bouncer on their famous Thursday nights, which at the time were massive.
Right.
And Thursday nights were our own crew. A lot of us, we were known for getting in fights and tussles a lot. So we would do the things that, So anyway, I was there on a Friday night, hanging out with some friends.
Yep.
And my ex-wife, I was with her at the time.
Yeah.
She was out with her friend and her friend's mother. They came over and they came up to me because most of the women there knew that all they had to do was tell me, hey, I'm uncomfortable. This guy's making me uncomfortable. Right. I'll go handle it. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Yeah. Even though I'm off the clock, I have no problem with that at all. So they told me, they're like, hey, this dude followed us all the way from the restaurant into the club.
Yeah.
And he won't leave us alone. Can you do something about it? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I see the guy. And from where I was standing at the front stage, you used to be able to look down the DJ hallway. You could see the entrance to the men's room.
Okay.
And I saw the guy walk into the bathroom. So I told one of the security guys, like I said, I wasn't working. I told him, like, hey man, there's a dude, just get him out of here.
Yeah.
He's being a creep. He's making these women uncomfortable. This
is a safe space.
Yeah. And so I see, he's like, I'll handle it. I see him get on the radio. He goes in the bathroom. Then I see another security guy go in the bathroom.
Right.
And another one.
Right.
And another one.
Oh,
Nobody's
shit.
coming out. So I'm like, let me go check on it. Because the one buddy that I talked to, it was his first night working too. Like this was his first night being a bouncer.
Yeah.
So I go in there and this guy has his back up against the wall, throwing Zig Heils at everybody, grabs one of the bouncers by his face.
Oh, Lord.
Calls him
a couple things.
Horrible slurs.
Yeah.
Shoves him by the face.
God damn.
And it was on. And this guy would not go down. Every time I would crack his head and he would get right back up. He was on something.
Fucking cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Man, on something.
Or meth or something, yeah.
Eventually, so in the bathroom at the Castle, if you were a long time regular in the men's room, they had a stainless steel sink. And it was lopsided for years.
Okay.
And that was from me smashing his head against it. They never fixed it. And he got back up. It took his head going against a urinal to get him to finally go down.
Fucking A.
And so I grabbed him by the neck. A bouncer and a bartender grabbed him by the feet.
Yeah.
And we carried him down the stairs like that.
Love it.
And we got him out in the street. And they dropped his feet. And I went down with him and held him.
Yeah.
I had him wrapped up. And I let go, and he's, he had come to. He had gone out. He came to. And he's trying to claw on my elbow. So I just kind of squeezed back up. And he taps. Right. I'm like, man, just wait for the cops.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going anywhere.
You lost, man. It's over.
The first cop that shows up was an African-American gentleman on a horse. Uh-huh. And the words that came out of this dude's mouth, I was like, man, you're done. Like, you are done.
Man, go down with the fucking shit.
Right. This guy was like, double down. No, we're all in. And so they ended up cuffing this guy behind my back. The cop was like, you got him in a great hold. Behind my back. And
Keep that up.
Yeah. I slid out. Right. And then they take him and they go to put him in the car. And it's, if you got your hands behind your back, they don't go up very high. No. And they had him at 12 o'clock. And they're cracking his elbow on the door. Like, come on, man, get in the car. What are you doing? And he's talking shit the whole time.
Yeah, I bet.
He gets in the car, and I'm covered in this guy's blood. And so they're giving me peroxide and pouring peroxide, and I'm giving a statement and all that, telling what happened. And while the officer in the front seat of the car is making a report, I see him make this face, and he looks to the back. He goes, did you shit your pants? I had choked the guy out so bad that he crapped his pants.
Oh, that's perfect.
So to wrap it up, the next morning, I'm immediately on HCSO's website looking at the arrest inquiry.
Oh, of course.
I'm like white male,
who
arrested.
is this guy?
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through, find the dude, find his mugshot. He is hurt.
I bet.
He went to the infirmary before he went into a cell because he was all butterfly bandaged up.
Yeah.
And I see that he was on parole for beating up his pregnant old lady multiple times.
So you could have guessed he was a piece of shit when you started this, but that guy's a piece of shit.
And ever since, I will never forget that night.
Wow.
That was the night that I was like,
no, that's unforgettable.
I beat up a Nazi. My grandfather would be so proud.
Honestly, you know what? Keep it alive, my friend. And, you know, we might need you back out there in the streets pretty soon. But that's fucking amazing,
yeah, and
man.
that's something that I will never forget. That like, as if it happened last night. Every detail I remember perfectly.
The emboldenedness of him to just fucking go out there talking that shit.
Yeah.
And then when the cops come to still keep going after it. That's fucking crazy.
It was, man, the shit, like,
you know
it came out of his mouth.
It reminds me of, you've seen Inglourious Basterds.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fuck you and all your Jews. And he's like, yeah, we're happy you said that because now he's going to come out and beat the shit out of you. Yeah,
exactly.
We're tickled you said that.
100%.
This is the closest we get to going to the movies.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah,
That's
man.
fucking great, man. What a great story.
Yeah.
All right. Now you ask one. Yeah,
all right, so
ahead.
what was I...
How long have we been doing this now? I don't know. For a while, but yeah. What are we at?
We're not too bad. Where are we? Yeah, we're not bad. So, let me think here. What did I have written down? Well, I mean, I had the usual as well, like a memorable experience.
Right.
And then also had, I had, where do you remember, did you have your first drink in Ybor City?
Oh, God, I don't remember that. I would think I was 12. Okay, so, first drink in Ybor City, gosh. You might have got me on that one, man. I mean, if I could go all the way back, I didn't have, okay, let me tell you this. The first time I went to a bar in Ybor City, I can remember it because I was about 9 years old.
Yeah.
I was with a cousin who was in town for a wedding, and first of all, a little backstory about me. I was always a little bit of a dork about Ybor City. Jose Marti and Mr. Ybor, and they're rolling the cigars. I was always kind of that kid. So my cousin comes into town. He's like, he's in his early 30s. He's like, man, I'm fucking bored out of my mind. Where do I go? I go like, well, you can go to Ybor City. He's like, come on, you come with me to Ybor City. I go there, and first of all, I was like, I mean, this is late 90s. So like I'm in Ybor City, I'm like 9 years old. He's like, fuck it, we're going bar hopping. I'm talking to homeless people and stuff. And then I distinctly remember being at the bar, cigarette smoke everywhere around me. And there was another little kid with me. I was like, hey, how you doing? You know, how like little kids come together. So I don't remember my first drink, but I do remember going to a bar, and I might have been at bars earlier than that. But that's one of my earliest memories about going to Ybor City. First drink, God, I can't remember. I can remember God, man, I would have to really get into my back memory to think about my first drink in Ybor City. Do you remember yours?
I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
I do.
Okay.
It was at Pleasure Dome.
Okay, there you go.
Yep. I freshly turned 21.
Yes.
The only reason why I remember it so much is because I was very staunch against drinking growing up.
Really?
Yeah. I absolutely refused to drink.
Irish?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was like, we grew up with it. I had my first drink when I was a kid.
Right. I grew up around it and saw the bad side of drinking.
Exactly.
And so I was like, this is never going to be me.
Yeah.
So I wasn't straight edge, but like, no drinking, no drugs, no nothing. I mean, I didn't even try. I think the first time I tried pot, I was like 28.
That's very surprising to me.
Very late bloomer, yeah.
Jeez.
So I had my first beer, I was 21, and that was just wanted to celebrate. I was solo.
Okay.
I didn't have any friends out with me. I just wanted to buy a beer.
Yeah.
And I
just to be like, I'm 21, I can get a fucking beer.
Right. And that was the first time I went to Pleasure Dome.
Wow.
And when that moment where I walk in the room, so I didn't know what to buy. I bought a Corona.
Yeah.
And that was the grossest thing I'd ever had at the time. And so I babysat. I was there probably 2 hours and never even finished it. Just kind of stood against a wall holding it.
So I do remember my first beer I ever bought. It wasn't in Ybor City. It was in Town and Country. It was a Rolling Rock.
Oh,
yeah. And I don't know why.
Like
I was
$1.
just like, Rolling Rock. Yeah. And it was just, and I was like, this is really gross. It was really stupid.
Yeah.
I do remember my first time going clubbing in Ybor City.
Yeah, where was that?
Prana.
Oh.
I went with my girlfriend at the time and her friend and then my friend. And he was talking shit the whole time. He's like, man, when you get there, you got to do this. And I was all nervous. I'm like, driving like,
yeah.
When we get there, I'm going to have a good time. And in my head, I'm going like, I just hope everything goes well.
Yeah.
You know, like, but then you had that first drink in you and you start kind of dancing a little bit and the next thing you know, you're like, man, fucking Ybor's great. Where can we go next? And then we start hopping around.
100%.
I do remember my first Guavaween.
Yeah.
I was about 17 years old and I was not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But I hung out there. I didn't drink, but because same thing, I was young. I was like, I'm not going to drink. I hung out. I remember smoking a cigarette thinking I was a badass. Yes, I had a cigarette from somebody and I was like, really cool kid on the streets of Guavaween. Saw a lot of titties.
Yeah, tons.
I mean, it was, Ybor's always had that kind of draw to it.
Man, it really had between like the gas parade, like the night parade.
Yeah.
When they do that, man, night parade's one of my favorites.
Oh man, we need to bring something. Well, we have the night parade, of course. We have the St. Patty's parade. We have the Pride parade. These are all great. we need to bring something back for the Halloween season.
You know, we had Richard from Dirty Shame was running Phantasma Fest for a while.
Right, yeah.
And I don't think he does it anymore. Yeah. But they had, because they used to do, what was it? I went to a few times. Didn't they do a parade for the Roosters?
Yes, yeah. They haven't done that in a while.
Right, it's been a long time. Yeah. But they used to do, like, for Phantasma Fest, they would do, like, the bed races.
Yeah, the bed races were around for a while.
Cool.
Do they still do that? I haven't seen that in a while.
No.
That was pretty cool. All the bars put together, like, a bed on wheels and trying to race down 7th Avenue. It was more of, like, who's going to fall down first, kind of thing. But I've talked with some people within the Ybor community. They're talking about doing a Founders Day because Ybor technically signed the deal to become, to buy the 40 acres of swamp on October 5th of 1885. Okay, and I was mentioning it to them. I go, we need something for Halloween season, and they're like, well, a Founders Day might be something. I'm like, let's put together a whole fucking week. Yes. Like how Gasparilla does, like a whole month of figure out something like that to have somebody. That comes to my next question.
Call up the CRA. Let's make this happen.
Right. That comes to my next question to you. So, what is Ybor missing? What do we need here? Because we have a lot, and there's a lot to see. But we're like, in my mind, there's a couple things we're missing, and I want to hear your opinion first.
All right, a couple things right off rip.
Right.
Without, I would say one, because I miss it. We don't have any more. Jazz club.
We need a jazz club.
I
didn't even think about that.
We had amazing jazz clubs.
The Jazz Cellar was right there by where Mr. Ybor's factory was, right?
Love jazz clubs, and gone. We haven't had one in several years.
Yeah, man.
2, 1, I actually had put this pitch together and got denied by the landlord because I'm not corporate money or anything.
Right.
But there used to be an empty spot in Centro Ybor, which is now Asiatic Noodle House.
Right.
For the longest time, it was a burger joint called Fresh Mouth or Big Mouth or whatever. It changed names at some point. But it was empty for years.
Yeah.
And so I put together a package, a plan. I had a menu written. I had staff on deck. I had everything ready to go to do a diner.
A diner?
I wanted
That's exactly
a breakfast diner. Now, in Central, you at the time, I'm sure this is over 10 years ago.
Right.
I'm sure some rules have changed, who knows, but city rules where you could not be open 24 hours.
Right.
You had to close down for a period of time.
I think it would be a good idea to close from like 3 to 6
Correct.
Or something.
You could stay open later as long as people cannot go inside the establishment.
Okay, so a window or something.
That location had a window.
Yeah.
And I had this grandiose dream of like, oh my God, can you imagine getting a breakfast sandwich at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Breakfast burrito.
La Segunda bread.
Right,
sausage, egg, and cheese for like at the time $6?
$6.
Yeah,
people
just
tonight
a half
they
sandwich.
pay 10 right now.
Oh my God, yeah. And
for just bacon eggs.
That'd be so. And just close it at 4 o'clock. You close it, reopen at 6:30, whatever. Yep. Have a new crew come in, clean. You use that cleaning crew and all that. And when I talked to the leasing agent or whatever, the guy wanted my full business model, full pitch, and I was like, no, I want to know how much you want for the space, what you're requiring, yada yada. Just know this place has been empty for almost 10 years.
Right.
Let me get in here. And he finally broke me down when I told him, I was like, look, I just want to do a diner. He goes, oh no, we have one of those coming in. And then it stayed empty for another few years, and then it became the
I remember
noodle
Sunday's
place.
Deli. Oh, the noodle place.
Yeah.
Well, I remember Sunday's Deli had kind of a diner vibe, but it also had a deli vibe.
Yeah. He started off in a food truck in the patio at Dirty Shame.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew that he had the big restaurant where Laura is right now. We're still in soup.
Well, that way he was across the street where 7th and Grove is.
Yeah.
They have a little spot next door. That's like their little
speakeasy.
That's where Sunday's Deli was.
Right. Yeah. Dude, I fucking love
that food was so good.
But we need a diner.
Yes.
You're right. If we had something like that, I mean, even the people that are like, dude, I just need some fresh air out of this place.
Yep.
I'm gonna go get a fucking ham sandwich with some egg on it and just chill out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or instead, now you're drunk driving. Up to like 3
coins. Go to McDonald's. 3 coins or something. It's like not a good idea. I mean, I know the McDonald's, nothing against corporate greed and all that, but we can have a local spot in this place where people would be making money hand over fist.
And I'm a huge proponent of keep money local.
Right, me too. Yeah, that's how it should be, especially in a town like this.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
This isn't International Drive in Orlando.
Right.
This is a historic town.
Right.
Where a lot of people here.
Well, for a long time we didn't have Jimmy John's and shit. For a long time. I mean, I remember seeing Jimmy John's and 7-Eleven. Buffalo Wild Wings came in. I was like, nobody's gonna.
We used to have a Starbucks.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
So
that's ridiculous. There's like 19 places to get coffee in Ybor City.
No, of all the places, a Starbucks.
Right.
It was in Central Ybor when you're walking through Centro, and it's the popsicle place.
Yeah.
That used to be a Starbucks.
Oh my God.
And across the street, in where there's the big, I believe it's Tribeca Salon or whatnot.
Yeah.
There used to be an American Outfitters.
Yeah, I remember
place.
that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was there, and a Victoria's Secret.
Yes, it was like a mall.
Yeah,
for a
it was
minute
really
there.
strange.
Yeah.
But like, from what I understand, all the Centro Ybor ownership is not local.
Well, it's flipping over now. There's a lot of things that are opening.
I think originally, Centro as a whole, I think originally Centro was built by out-of-state investors.
It was the Steiner group that wanted to do some stuff. They've done stuff in like Philadelphia and stuff like that. But now, and they just had recently somebody flip over to do it. Mm-hmm. Now they're really focused on what they want to do there. There's the creperia.
Mm-hmm.
The creperia.
Yeah, he just bought upstairs.
Right, they're gonna have a coffee shop and it's crepes to go.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's I mean that's breakfast.
I eat at creperia all the time.
Yeah, creperia, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
I'm half French.
I used to speak a lot of French.
Really?
I had nobody to talk to, so I've lost so much of it. Nobody wants to talk to Canadians.
All right, what do you think I think that's missing in Ybor City? Name a Cuban restaurant here.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the Cuban capital of the world. At one point, before when Miami was Everglades and alligators down there, this was the cradle of Cuban independence.
Yeah, I agree.
And when people come on my tour and they go, "Where do I get Cuban food?" I go, "Get in your car and go to West Tampa, and you'll get good Cuban food." They go, "There's nothing around here." I go, "Absolutely not. Nothing against the Colombia is great. They do a ropa vieja. You can get picadillo once in a while, but no, there's no like quick Cuban like a town and country kind of spot where they have like everything lined up there. You get a plate for $7.95.
Oh man, I miss that. That's why I used to go to Tony's. What was it, Tony's?
Tony's was great.
Yep.
Tony's is gone, unfortunately, and that was about as close as we had it for a while. And even that's like on the far side of Ybor City. Yeah. But like we don't have
you're absolutely correct.
No Cuban restaurant here.
Absolutely correct.
That has to change.
And on that note, something that's bothered me for a long time is that we are specifically this area, the birthplace of the Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
And no Cuban sandwich that you can get around here, in my opinion, is true to history of what a Cuban sandwich is supposed to be. Everyone, I have this theory.
I'm listening.
And it's going to be Durden's hot take corner.
Yeah, this is
right
a hot
now
take because a lot of Cuban sandwiches around here. Go ahead.
My hot take is that we have been put on a pedestal for so long for being the quintessential Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
That everywhere that offers a Cuban sandwich has felt that they can rest on their laurels now and they can make it their own little twist. Mm-hmm. And so that no longer can you get
an authentic
Cuban
mixed
sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, that's not to say the sandwiches out here aren't fantastic. I tell you what, I really love like a devil crab.
Yeah.
I love the ones at Gaspar's.
Yeah, man.
It's a little bit different take. They're fantastic.
The devil crab also invented here in Ybor City.
Yep.
Yeah.
I grew up eating them at Seabreeze restaurant.
Yeah.
Down at the shrimp docks.
Yeah.
That's no longer there. The shrimp docks are, but the Seabreeze is gone. Mm-hmm. But
the devil crab, that's another thing that I love that we can get here because it's one of those things. So you used to be able to. It was made during the strike. Do you know about the devil crab? Mm-hmm. It was made. The breadcrumbs around the leftover crab meat. You can deep fry it and you can hold it in one hand and have your cigar in the other.
Yeah.
And that was.
That's just how I eat it too.
That's exactly Ybor City.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. I mean, really, Ybor City's cuisine could have a whole kind of story of its own. Yeah. There really need to be some movies about this place too. So yeah,
filmed here.
Yeah, filmed in Ybor City. No, sorry, Ben Affleck.
Yeah. No, but and like I said, I love all the Cuban sandwiches we have for the most part. But yeah, I have this thing where like in Ybor, like now I will say, was it Palm Avenue Sandwich Shop?
Yeah.
Makes a great.
Pretty good.
Makes a good Cuban.
Yeah, I like Bread on the Bay too. Believe it or not, they're pretty solid.
But as far as walking down 7th, you're a tourist.
Yeah.
You coming off the cruise ship.
Yeah.
You go to Water Street. Mm-hmm. You're like, not going to pay $23 for a cup and a half of salad. So I'm going to get on the streetcar. I'm going to come into Ybor.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to get a drink.
Yep.
I'll get a cigar. Mm-hmm. And I want a Cuban.
Yeah, for the same price as that one little salad
right.
we got on Water Street.
And so then you're like, all right, so where do I get a Cuban?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, there's the staples of the town, Carmine's, and there's the Columbia, and these places are great. Mm-hmm. Nothing against them. But you're right, it's not an authentico. It's
Right.
not the real way.
How about like that little pizza window that's over by the Italian club?
Yeah, man.
How about if something like that was like,
Yeah, just sandwiches.
like a
something
Cuban
easy.
window.
Yeah,
Just
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh man.
We need to do something around here. We need to have a diner.
Yeah.
I love that idea. We need to have a Cuban restaurant here too. We need to have a restaurant where you can like smoke in it too. Like, where you can like have, you can have your cigar as well as sitting down to enjoy your food. Because honestly, that's what Ybor is all about.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, anything else?
I think we're good. I mean,
Like good intro episode.
I think so. This is good. Just get a little bit out there.
We do got to get some stuff out of the way here. Hold on, we do have a sponsor. Real quick, if you want me to do the
go
review?
ahead. You're familiar with them.
Let's see. Okay, so cut to this episode of Ybormuda podcast is brought to you by Culture Control. Located in the heart of Seminole Heights, the finest barbers in the city are ready to tailor your look for the week ahead. While you wait for your cut, you can check out their attached vintage clothing market full of rare and unique items found only in their store. And don't be surprised if when you're there, you'll see some of the bigger names in Tampa entertainment hanging around Culture Control. Oh, also, they said that if you mention Ybormuda Podcast, that's us, you'll get 10% off your entire bill. So go there, see some artists, some musicians, amazing art that you'll see all over the place. You'll see rare pieces of clothing here, as well as like retro vinyl, whatnot. Sometimes I catch a couple of celebrities in there as well. They also have major events happening. I don't know when this is going to debut, but August 9th, they have a big fairgrounds event, and they have a big event coming up at Hotel Haya in the fall. Lovely Hotel Haya. It's located on Florida Avenue, just north of Hillsborough, next to Jug and Bottle, so check them out. Culture Control, thanks for sponsoring our first episode.
Thank you, Culture Control.
All right, man. Anything else? Any business we need to take care of?
No, I mean, like I said, we're going to release this one.
Yep.
I'm not sure when the next episode will be out. I'm assuming it's probably going to be like the fall.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Let's
just
get our
get a
feet
few
wet.
in, yeah.
Right. Let's record a handful of them and get them going. And by the way, another reminder. You guys, go to YborMudaPodcast.com and send us your stories.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to hear from everybody.
Right.
Tell me something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, where's the weirdest place that you've gotten laid in?
Yeah. Who's the weirdest person you had sex with in Ybor City? Because I have some stories about.
Oh boy.
Sorry, honey. I've woken up with a tattoo and going like, fuck. I don't remember getting that one. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm sure you guys out there have your stories too. No matter how crazy it is, you can submit it anonymously if you'd like to. We'll read it on air if it's a good one, and we'll make you famous.
Yeah, man. So I just want to thank everyone for taking a chance to listen to us.
Thanks.
I'm really excited about this.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be an absolute blast.
All right,
I
man.
appreciate you coming along with me.
Yeah, of course,
Cool, man.
Great idea.
Thank you,
Let's
man.
do this thing. All right, see you guys next episode.
You guys have a great night.
See ya.